Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to East Long Meadow High School as the East Long Meadow Spartans play host to Amherst, the Hurricanes, in a varsity field hockey matchup here from East Long Meadow. Colin Casey bringing coverage live here on LCAT, and Gage, this is a big matchup for both teams. Both teams looking for their first victory of the season, but more importantly for Amherst specifically, they're looking to try to get back in the scoring column. It's been 3 games since they've found the back of the net. This is a huge game for Amherst as well as East Long Meadow.
Absolutely. I mean, looking back at the first game for Amherst, the final score was 13-1, and ever since then, they've proceeded to let up a minimum of 12 goals in those next 3 games. So looking at their average, it's about 12.5 goals a game. East Long Meadow, more offensive standpoint when they play. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not defense is a big factor in this game or if it's going to be all offensive only.
Now, East Long Meadow is coming off of some momentum as they were able to get a 1-1 tie against South Hadley. That was back last Wednesday. So last time the Spartans were in action, they were able to squeak out a point, so to speak, against the Tigers. And it's going to be give it to East Long Meadow. Not really sure from here.
Well, while we have some time to talk, some time on this play stoppage, we're going to talk. I just want to bring up that earlier in the game, around 6:30, the usual time for home teams to start warming up. It was East Long Meadow out here, full force, full practice, and Amherst nowhere to be seen for about 10-15 minutes, and they opened up with some very light practice to see. We'll see if that ends up costing a huge factor in this game.
Spartans already on the attack. Trying to fight it through was Dowd, but was able to draw an infraction. So will be brought back out to the 25 and put in play by the Spartans. I believe Sterling passes forward, but Amherst defense able to knock that ball away. Sterling gets it back. Has a little bit of time and space, but her pass is knocked down and swung out. And here comes Amherst. Monica Cage trying to take it upfield 1-on-3, but it's quickly taken back by East Long Meadow. Here comes Numbers, 2-on-1, pass in, it's kicked aside. A nice save, rebound comes right back to the Spartans. And once again kicked away by the goaltender, Mackenzie Schreier. Dominant control from the Spartans through the first 2.5+ minutes of this game, and they will keep possession, and they'll put it in on this free hit. About a 45-minute drive down I-91 for the Hurricanes. And there's a bomb of a shot by Sterling from the point, doesn't get through. The rebound is fought for and finally dragged out and played forward by Gabrielle Mahoney, but quickly given back to the Spartans. Amherst looks a little gassed already with how much time is spent in their own attacking zone. And Sterling's able to keep it in. Amherst has had trouble getting it past midfield since the get-go. A little bit of a stumble there from Mahoney. And it's going to roll out of play. And wait, they're saying it was last touched by Amherst. Interesting call. And the whistle blows once more.
We forgot to mention at the beginning of the game, one of the key inactives for East Long Meadow is Sophie Sayers is out for today's game. We don't know how long if this is an injury, if this is any type of sickness. We don't know what it could be, but all we know is that she will be out for at least today's game. Question will be is if she'll be able to return for Thursday night's game.
Yeah, big matchup against Long Meadow, a team that's consistently year in and year out been top team in Western Mass when it comes to field hockey, as that ball will go all the way out. If you're looking to watch that game on Thursday, it'll be right here on LCAT, right here in East Long Meadow.
Wait, isn't that getting delayed because of the red zone? Because East Long Meadow was put into that red. No?
Yeah.
Okay. So
no updates yet on that.
So to be decided if it will actually get there.
Just be sure to check out Mass Live and make sure that game is in fact still taking place. Anyways, on they play. Pass is picked off by Sterling. He's had a lot of action so far, but it'll be given right back to the Hurricanes. Taken forward, the pass to the far side of the field. Sterling back there to get it. She was looking to get that ball all the way through for Olivia Robb, but was unable to do so. And the whistle blows, and how about this? Decent opportunity for Amherst. You can hear the excitement on the other side of the Amherst sidelines, I should say.
It was funny. I was actually just going to bring up when we were looking at the 4 games that Amherst had played and the scores on them. I don't know if you know this. You might be able to tell me on this one, but is it the lack of experience that these players have? Is East Long Meadow facing a bunch of sophomores, maybe freshmen?
Surprisingly, no. There's only 2 freshmen on the roster, so there is a lot of upperclassmen. To be fair, they did play against 2 of the top teams in Western Mass and Long Meadow and Minnetonka, so didn't help to have that draw of a tough schedule to start. But I don't know, maybe they just got into such a big hole. But here's a great opportunity on net, but smartly taken out and dragged out by Anna Macarini. There's a little bit of a mistake by Macarini as that ball ended up glancing off her foot. 8:43 remaining, still no score. First 5 minutes was all East Long Meadow, but here come the Hurricanes with a bit of a surge of their own. And the whistle will blow, and this time it'll come all the way back out. It was Jenna Schilling who couldn't keep the ball in front of her without using her feet. Sterling brings it back to the 15. She will top that ball, trying to put it in play, but Amherst is unable to take advantage. Pretty warm night here in mid-October, all things considered. Definitely a lot warmer last time we were out here, Gage, back on October 1st.
Absolutely. We were both covering or actually, we'll bring it back to when we first started this, and it was the first game for all of fall sports, which happened to be field hockey.
Mm-hmm.
We both were a little underprepared. It was chillier than usual, but wasn't too bad. Then next time we come in, it's for the varsity soccer girls soccer game, and
I think it was really windy that game, right?
It was super. I think it was probably 10 degrees less than what it was the previous.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking to myself, oh, it's going to probably be a chillier day. And then here I am already debating on whether or not I should have brought shorts.
The pressure from Amherst continues, but possession award to East Long Meadow. Let's see if they can go back to that sustained attack they had in the first couple of minutes. Got a substitution being made. Tara Piku, who was in, comes off in favor of Talia Weiss. Coach Reed keeping the legs fresh out there. A lot of substitutions being made so far. The ball moving by the Hurricanes. Shot on net, goes off a foot, but on they play. And it's cleared out by the Spartans. Schilling takes it to the far side. Well defended by, looked like that was Ron Karate. And she will send it upfield. But her pass is knocked away. And another decent opportunity for Amherst. I mean, credit to the Hurricanes. They've come out with a lot of pressure once they finally were able to get it to the opposite half of the field.
Absolutely. It's shocking to see how poor, I don't want to say poor the defense is for East Long Meadow because they have been able to stop it, but the transition game for East Long Meadow is not there. Every time they try to make that far pass to try and set up their offense, they manage to turn the ball over with just nobody being even close to it and then having to go right back on defense.
Lily Sterling, sub coming in late. That pass forward looking for Weiss goes just over her stick. Ron Karate putting some pressure on Maria Konizny. Spartans get the ball back. Pass forward's knocked down. Just great defensive layers at midfield by Amherst, preventing the Spartans from getting anything going forward. Ball lofted out on a nice play by LaRock. That pass forward, almost a breakaway, but a good job by knocking that ball out. Stepping in front of the passing lane was Grace Wilkinson. Probably saved a breakaway. Wilkinson risks it forward, but that one will go out of bounds. Here comes another substitution for the Spartans. Ron Karate comes off. And she will be replaced by Caitlin Dowd, who did start this game. So a quick breather for Dowd, and back in she comes. All the way to the far side of the field, Wilkinson retrieves it. Couple of good moves to free up some space. She's able to switch fields. Not a whole lot on that pass forward by... Looked like that was maybe Schilling. But regardless, here they come the other way. Dowd stepping in, shot, and it's kicked aside. Just getting a piece of it with Schreier. She didn't get all of it, as it looked like it just glanced off the outside of her leg. So that will be possession award. No, it's actually given to Amherst, so must have just completely missed her and ended up missing the net entirely.
Yeah, it was definitely a close one. I mean, from the angle we're at, that could go either way, but with the ref being on the other side of the field, it definitely allows him to see what we couldn't see. So from what we see, that it's a 50-50, but probably from what his angle was, that was a good call.
Comes another golden opportunity for the Spartans. Pass is knocked aside, and Dowd stumbles a little bit. It looked as though Olivia Robb had a great opportunity to put that one on net, but she opted for the pass and said it was knocked away. But the Spartans do keep possession with 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Still scoreless. Sterling. And that shot is blocked. Given back to East Longmeadow. Sterling winds up and cranks one on net. It's going to miss wide to the outside post. Sterling hasn't been afraid to shoot the ball with a lot of force so far, but still we stay scoreless.
Yeah, one thing I noticed that we didn't notice in previous games for the field hockey or East Longmeadow field hockey team was the midfield battle. A lot of the games it was just back and forth right at the midfield, no crazy possession times in the offense. But so far this entire first quarter, it's just been crazy possession time for East Longmeadow. Then it goes right to crazy possession time for Amherst, and then a repeat of crazy possession time for East Longmeadow. We'll see if Amherst now takes advantage and tries to drain out the rest of this first quarter. But so far it's been heavy offense.
Good pressure from the Spartans. Frees up the ball. Weiss's pass goes down low, finds Robb. Robb trying to get an angle. Robb with a shot. Kick, save made. Rebound is loose. And looks like Amherst caught a break there as they're able to get it out on the whistle. Couple of great chances late in this first quarter by Olivia Robb. Trying to lift that one forward is Wilkinson. But back come the Spartans. Robb can't fight it through a couple of Amherst defenders, but a whistle is called. Fighting through is Robb. But again, another corner, so to speak. But instead of the traditional corners, now the ball is just put in play back at the 25. These adjusted rules, and got 50 seconds remaining, so the Spartans wasting no time putting it in play. Pass is broken up, a great defensive play. Not a whole lot of help, but here comes all alone. It's Maria Konechny. Konechny can't fight through it. And Macarini with a good defensive play to spin it back to the far side. East Longmeadow might have time to get an opportunity of their own. It's Olivia Robb. Robb gets an angle, 18 seconds. Robb with nothing but open field in front of her, 15 seconds. Robb with help. Gets broken up. A great defensive play by Wilkinson, who's had a strong first quarter for the Hurricanes. Final seconds tick off. And it was an exciting first quarter here from East Longmeadow High School, but we remain scoreless. Amherst and East Longmeadow in a tight battle. Gage, what'd you see in the first quarter of action?
Well, I was saying it earlier, and I'll say it again. Offense was definitely, even though it was scoreless, offensive opportunities were at a prime in this quarter. One thing for East Longmeadow was their shots. It was all down low, and every save or every attempt for a stop by Amherst was a kick save. With that being said, I don't know, that could, if they up the ante and put a little bit more power onto their hits, they might be able to squeeze a couple by. For Amherst, I think obviously we haven't seen how they've played before, but from what we've heard and what the scores were, right now they're doing phenomenal, and right now they just need to keep it up and make sure they can hold East Longmeadow.
Yeah, I didn't get a look at the box scores of the first 4 games they played, but this has to be probably the best quarter they've played all year, with the exception of whenever they scored their 1 goal against Longmeadow. They must have come into this game knowing, hey, we played a couple of tough teams to start this schedule. Maybe it was a confidence builder instead of a morale ender, so to speak, losing those games by such margins. And now they come into a game against an East Longmeadow team who's really in the same boat as them, still looking for that first victory of the season. And they came into this game thinking, hey, if we play hard, we got a chance at winning this game. And so far, they have held their own against the Spartans.
Yeah, absolutely. Another key thing that might help East Longmeadow is we were talking about it earlier. Their East Longmeadow's head coach, Coach Reed, also the boys hockey coach. He's used to having to be able to work under pressure, have to quickly make changes to his game plan. He's also, from last year, he was able to overtake comebacks and take advantages of any defense that he was thrown against.
Both teams getting ready to go back out onto the field for the second quarter. Just waiting on Amherst to retake the field. Definitely not the same depth that Amherst has compared to East Longmeadow, with just about a half a dozen bench players. So East Longmeadow does have that advantage of more players to go to, the opportunity to keep most of their players relatively fresh. So they head back out there. Both goaltenders, credit to them, they've made some big saves. Schreier for Amherst, and strong performance as well from Elaine Nathan. Second quarter's underway. Pass forward does not find the intended target, and it's knocked down by Marissa Beaumier. Long pass intended for Taft, but it's too far forward. Pass by Wilkinson gets through, but knocked down by Macarini, who jumps up into the play. Ball will roll in, just unable to keep it in is PQ. But looked like it went out before she tried making a play on the ball, so it'll be Spartans' possession. PQ lofts to space, stepping up to Macarini. Macarini's pass is knocked down, but still gets partially through on the far side. Centering pass, kicked aside by the goaltender Schreier. Rebound is swatted at, and kicked aside once more by Schreier. So a couple of more great opportunities for the Spartans, and they still can't quite get that first goal past. They'll keep possession with East Longmeadow. They're going to bring it all the way back out to the far side 25. Spartans will play it back to Macarini. PQ finds it, but that ball aggressively kicked out by Schreier. Danger hasn't passed, though. Macarini stepping in all alone. A shot, she scores! Anna Macarini gets the Spartans on the board with 13 minutes left in the second quarter. East Longmeadow with a 1-0 lead.
There's a lot of
goal by number 2, Anna Macarini.
There was a lot of chances for East Longmeadow on that scoring opportunity. Obviously, we had Macarini right in there for the easy shot, and right to her left, she had one of her teammates there for a nice pass to try and get that one. And Anna Macarini decided to shoot it. It worked. So East Longmeadow up 1-0, and hopefully they can continue the scoring.
Spartans looking for more, trying to fight it forward past midfield, but good answer there. And I think the ball's still live. No, it is not. Didn't hear a whistle there, but they're going to bring it back a little bit, and Amherst will put it back in play. Grace Wilkinson to midfield. And here come the Hurricanes with some numbers. Pass is knocked away. A great read by Nevins. Nevins with her head up, looking for options. She's got plenty of help, and finally is able to spin it forward, and waiting for it are the Spartans. The convoy ahead. Ron Karate going to chase it down. We got fireworks going off just completely out of nowhere. And the ball will go out of play, and it'll be awarded to East Longmeadow. It was right over the parking lot over at St. Michael's, adjacent to the field. And here come the Hurricanes. Pass led forward, intended for Mahoney. Now Nevins will send one forward past everybody. That will force Amherst to retreat. That's Katsalakis. Pass is knocked down, but it went off a Spartan's foot. Sent back in play. Picked up by Beaumier. Beaumier with a great pass ahead. Here comes Robb. Forward. Spartans, great opportunity, but Taft can't get it through. Cleared out by Amherst. Stepping up, and it was Beaumier who got her foot in front of that. Beaumier able to recover, spins, and a great pass forward. Weiss. That was Ron Karate, actually. Olivia Robb has Weiss cut into the front of the net. Robb back to Ron Karate. Wilkinson can't clear it cleanly, and it'll be Spartans' ball once again. Just over 10 minutes remaining, a 1-0 lead for East Longmeadow, looking to add to it here. Pass fed forward, rebound comes loose for Robb. Backhanded attempt, doesn't get through. Robb, another shot attempt, just kept out, still loose in front. And another remarkable save made by Mackenzie Schreier. Relentless push, though, from the Spartans as they keep it on their opponent's half of the field. Broken up by Katsalakis, but they'll give it back to East Longmeadow. Beaumier. Pass is knocked away. Katsalakis. Mahoney. Looking to move past. There's a nifty move on Nevins by Mahoney. Gabrielle Mahoney, the junior, is able to draw a foul. Katsalakis puts it in play. Mahoney can't find it. Now on the far side, it's Mira Seti Charity. But Robb sends it all the way down, and here comes East Longmeadow again. Dowd. Looking for some help with Weiss. Weiss comes over to play the ball. It's a stalemate, finally won by Grace Wilkinson, who's certainly been a bright spot in this game for Amherst, making a couple of huge defensive plays deep in her own end. Katsalakis, who's also been pretty strong in the back end, moves it forward, but Amherst just needs that offense they haven't had at all this season. Not to be so far. Beaumere's pass is knocked down, quickly played by Rob. Ball goes through Weiss's legs, but she's quickly over to get it. Talia Weiss looking for the crossing pass. Gets through and Dowd with the strong stick. Dowd looking for a shot, but she pulled it just a little bit and it misses about 3 feet wide. So with 7:45 to go, it'll be Amherst possession once again. They trail 1-0 to the Spartans. Large amount of substitutions made from Amherst as they swap off about half their roster. Cutting up field is Konechny. Konechny comes back to try to make a play. Now the Spartans with potential 2-on-1, but muddled by Wilkinson. Second attempt to get it through, finds Weiss. Weiss with a shot, but good job sealing off the angle by Schreier. Really strong in net once more. Went off of Schreier last, so Spartans get it at the 25. Olivia Robb. Get some help from Weiss. And it's lofted out, and it is found by Mahoney. Mahoney's got a decent amount of space, takes it upfield herself. Her pass goes through, maybe a 2-on-1 if Amherst can recognize it. But trouble getting it through, and now the tables have turned. Here come the Spartans. That was Molly Haller getting her first opportunity. Haller ahead for Weiss. A little bit too far ahead. Weiss persistent on that forecheck. But up comes Konechny. Maria Konechny, who's had the bulk of Amherst's opportunities in this game along with Mahoney. But we haven't seen really any opportunities for this Hurricanes team, Gage, since halfway through the first quarter, I'd say.
Absolutely. Ever since that first goal for East Long Meadow, they've kept the pressure coming. I think the farthest we've seen the ball go was to what, the 25-35 when they'd have to do
until now. Here comes Amherst as they'll get another opportunity. Spartans will make a quick substitution as Rob will check back in. She replaces Weiss, who's logged some serious minutes in this game.
It looks like Amherst is going to go more offensive on this formation. They have their back defenseman up further than usual, so we'll see if that ends up posing a factor.
Shot attempt knocked down. Dug out by the Spartans dangerously in front, but Beaumere's able to make a strong play and switch to the far side. It's Haller. Haller's pass finds Rob. Rob has numbers. Looking ahead for Taft. Centering pass for Taft. She can't get a stick on it. It goes all the way through and out of play. The opportunities have been there, but they've only been able to capitalize once, and Amherst still fighting hard to try to keep this a close game. .403 left in the first half. Upfield. It's a good-looking pass. A little too far ahead for Sophie Sweeting. But the return pass finds Sweeting. Sweeting's pass is knocked down, and it goes off the leg of Nevins. Nevins able to make up for it by breaking up that opportunity. Gets her stick in, but there's a centering feed in front. Great opportunity. The shot doesn't get through, and it's awarded to East Long Meadow. Man, it looked like Amherst might have had a golden chance to tie this game late in the first half. Clearing attempt is picked off. Nevins knocks it down. And Nevins sends it for Nevins. Stick handling by herself. Thrown forward, it finds Taft. Taft has Macarini cutting way down the field. She's going to take that open space. Here comes pressure from behind. Taft recognizes a little too late, and it's kicked away by Schreier. Boy, Gage, she really had Macarini streaking down the field with a golden opportunity.
Absolutely. What else I noticed with Macarini was she was actually cutting then across to try and make sure that she was known to be wide open.
Shot on goal, and that'll result in a corner, quote unquote. And we got an injury here. Got a Spartan down on the field, and with 2:05 remaining in the first half, we'll take a quick timeout. You're watching East Long Meadow Spartans field hockey right here on LCAT. And welcome back to East Long Meadow High School. You can see there Anna Macarini walking off the field under her own power, which is definitely a good sign, Gage. And she's unable to come back. It'd be a tough loss for the Spartans after she scored the only goal so far in this game.
Absolutely. Ignoring just the only goal for East Long Meadow, she also had plenty of opportunities where she made her presence known, being wide open and making her presence known in front of the net. It's going to be awful if East Long Meadow doesn't have her come back, but with her walking on her own 2 feet, that gives hope for the fans and even Coach Reed.
So in the meantime, Amherst looking for an equalizer with less than 2 minutes to go in the half. On the near side, it's fed forward. Seti Charity can't do much with it. Whacking at it was Beaumier. It's fought through for Rob, but quickly going the other way is Amherst, lobbed forward, but Nevins is back on defense. That's actually Isabel LaRock. Beaumier fighting through, and they're going to whistle her. It's a shot towards the front of the net, loose in front, and it looks like kicking that away was Elaine Nathans. So we talked a lot, Gage, about Schreier's strong game, but Nathans had to make some pretty big saves herself.
Absolutely. All the opportunities that Agawam has had, Nathan's been able to stop them, and then right a couple seconds after, East Long Meadow was able to clear it. Both goalies are having a great time. One only remains now with the possibility of a shutout, and Nathan's right now praying she can keep that shutout going.
Here comes more pressure from Amherst. There's a shot, centering pass, looking for it. Another swing at it. And the whistle blows. 15 seconds. Amherst looking to hustle and get this one in play. 10 seconds.
That's not going to be enough time.
3, 2, 1. And they're out of time, so that shot doesn't count. And, looked like Rob might have caught that stick right on the hand. Yeah, she's holding it as she's coming off to the sidelines. That can never feel good, but still some good things to feel, or some things to feel good about for the Spartans. They lead it 1-0 at the half. Gage, your thoughts on half number 1?
Well, started off with started off in the first quarter back and forth, most of the possession time going to East Longmeadow. Second quarter hits, and Anna Macarini gets the only goal so far we have in the half. Amherst had some lucky opportunities come at them right at the end of the second quarter. East Longmeadow was able to hold them off, and I think looking at Amherst, you need to build off that momentum that you got at the end of that second quarter, try and use that to help you in the third quarter and possibly tie the game. As for East Longmeadow, I think they need to fix the mistakes that caused those opportunities for Amherst, but other than that, they've been playing very good, and right now they're just hoping they can get back Anna Macarini.
All right, we'll take a quick break. The second half of action coming up next. You are watching East Longmeadow Spartans Field Hockey live on LCAT. And welcome back to East Lawn High School. The Spartans lead 1-0. Lone goal scored by Anna Macarini about early in the second quarter with about 13 minutes to play in that second quarter. Gage, the opportunities have been there for the Spartans. They have a lead, but the opportunities have also been there, especially as of late for Amherst.
Absolutely. Amherst like you were saying, Amherst had those opportunities late, and it came late in the second quarter. The ball was a lot of the times right in front of Nathan. A lot of coverage, though, with East Longmeadow defenders and Amherst attackers just being in the way, so you couldn't really read where the ball was at most of the time. But those opportunities that came at the end of the second quarter for Amherst, they need to build off of that, bring that into the third quarter, hopefully try and tie it. As for East Longmeadow, once again, they need to just be able to ignore what happened or try and build off and fix those mistakes, but just continue what they're doing.
Olivia Robb trying to get the scoring started early, going in 1-on-3. Stops on a dime, drops it back. Good opportunity, a shot just wide of the outside post. Caitlin Dowd with a gorgeous chance, but one goes just past the far post.
And just an FYI, I did just look down on the East Longmeadow sidelines, and the athletic trainer and Anna Macarini were talking, and they brought over the coach. It looks like she should be able to come in when they're ready for her.
It's definitely a good sign that she's standing in, has her stick in hand, so certainly that would be a big return for Spartans if they can get it. Whistle blows and good possession back to the Spartans. It's Lily Sterling. Caitlin Dowd gets a piece of it. Clearing attempt is turned over. Fighting through is Robb. Dowd. Return pass is picked off. Another great read by guess who? Grace Wilkinson. Dowd can't keep it in play. Credit to the Hurricanes sidelines. They've certainly been giving their team a boatload of support in this one, and to their credit, it's been working. Wilkinson will be the one to put it in play. It's going to be lifted out of play, or lifted into play, I should say, and they're going to send it back to Amherst. They'll do it again.
This is just precious time for Amherst on the attack. This is precious time wasting. So far, I think majority of the stoppage time for these 3 minutes, or majority of the time for these 3 minutes, has just been stoppage time.
Shot attempt is knocked down. Hard fight on the near sidelines, but they will give it to Amherst, and it's quickly given back to the Spartans. Robb loses possession. Almost given right back to Dowd. Sterling steps up, looking for a drive that's going to be well wide of the inside post, and they'll be put in at the goal line by the Hurricanes. 12:15 left in the third quarter, still 1-0. Spartans looking for that first victory of the season if they can hang on. That'll be given back to the Hurricanes. Jenna Schilling. Schilling moves to her right, ahead for Cage. And it's brought back by Lily Sterling. Pass ahead to midfield. Here comes East Longmeadow. Olivia Robb. Been controlling the offense for the most part for the Spartans all game. Robb is fouled. Robb fades the defense, chips it high, but referee blows the whistle, says that was an illegal hit. Wilkinson Head it goes off the foot of Mahoney. Not wasting any time is Sterling. She steps up into the play. Tape-to-tape pass. Centering feed is going to go all the way through. Dowd fired that one towards the front of the net. Now, a 2-on-2 as they got Nevis way back to play defense, and she's going to have to here comes Mahoney. Mahoney one-on-one. Moves it to space. She's got a little bit of speed. Stick handling. That ball glanced off of her foot. And another chance for Amherst, just doesn't end up panning out. They're going to bring Mahoney out for a breather, and not surprised. Seems like she ran a couple of miles in that one play. Oh, there's a big defensive breakdown, it looked like, from Amherst. That would have had Talia Weiss all by herself, or that was maybe Ron Karate, whoever it was. She was streaking down the field, and it was going to be a breakaway. So big break for Amherst. See if they can do anything with it. Quickly put back in play, and whistle blows. It'll be a Spartans ball. Beaumier waiting to put it in play, and she strikes it forward. And it gets through. Sent ahead to space. Tara PQ will try to run it down. She scored in the opening game of the season against Belchertown. Lily Sterling cuts off that pass. She whacks it forward. Here comes PQ. Ron Karate streaking downfield, but PQ had her stick chopped at before she could make a play. It's probably a smart penalty to take.
Absolutely. It allows for Amherst's defense to set up, get ready for the attack that East Longmeadow has had this entire game and has continued to have in the second half.
Quickly coming back are the Hurricanes. Pass is lifted forward. Seti Charity working on her own. Doesn't get much on that pass. But it's an illegal play by the Spartans. Maria Konechny will put it in play. Konechny on the forehand, and she'll get another chance to put it back in play. Foul committed there by Athena Ronkarati. Konechny trying to fight through two defenders, and foul committed. Spartans looking upfield. Nevins finally puts it in play. Lofted ahead into open space by Taft, but nobody home. Turned back upfield by Schilling.
We should see pretty soon Anna Macarini coming on. She looks like she's talking with the coach, figuring out where she's going to go, but she should be back.
Meanwhile, on the other side, a wrist shot on net, and it's wide, and the bench was fooled by that one, and just another great opportunity for Amherst, and another one just going right past the post.
Now I can't imagine how happy they'll be when they actually do score.
Just the one goal on the season for the Hurricanes on a brutal start to the schedule against Longmeadow and Minnechaug home and homes. Taking a tour of Hampden County. Credit to Amherst. They've played some of their best field hockey all season against the Spartans this evening. Still well within striking distance, trailing 1-0 with 6 minutes left in quarter number 3. Numbers for the Spartans. Olivia Robb taking it in herself, looking to get a shot on net. Patience doesn't get through, and it's kicked aside by Schreier. Kept in, though, by Sterling. Sterling working her way in by herself, and it's going to be a Spartans corner.
One of the key things I noticed her on that offensive push was Anna Macarini once again sprinting down the field wide open. It was unfortunate no one was able to notice her, but what could have happened if they were able to pass it to her?
It's a quick turnover. So the Hurricanes look to try to find that answering goal. You can see on the sidelines, Tara Piku with a bag of ice for one of her legs. So another developing story for the Spartans. Been a physical game so far for both teams. And freshly in the game, it's Anna Macarini. Macarini, pass forward, run down though, and clearing attempt, not much on it. Macarini keeps it in play. And that one's going to roll just out. So for Macarini, it didn't seem like she lost a whole lot of explosiveness on that opportunity.
Definitely not. Which for East Long Meadow, it's going to be a key factor in either adding to this lead or keeping this lead on at one. But either way, with Anna Macarini back and still having her explosiveness, this is going to be able to allow East Long Meadow to definitely.
Robb throws one towards the front of the net. There's a bad turnover. Shot, they score. And how about that? It's Anna Macarini with her second goal of the game. A lapse in concentration by Amherst and the Spartans extend their lead 2-0.
The positive for East Long Meadow was that they were able to intercept the pass and get this goal. But besides that, East Long Meadow was just at the right spot at the right time.
East Long Meadow goal.
And she's still hobbling, so you can tell
absolutely
that injury is still bothering her a little bit.
The problem was with Amherst, they weren't ready. You could tell that they were still in that transition phase. There's a lot going on with that Amherst needs to fix. I mean, that was one key part, and I mean, Anna Macarini proving that she knows what she's doing.
Nevins trying to run it down. There's a decent cross. Knocked down. Amherst picks it up, lifted forward, knocked down again. But it's cleared out by Nevins, and here come numbers again. Olivia Robb, 2-on-1. Has help to her left. Robb moving on in all by herself. Stops, lifts it through, and it trickles just past the outside post. A good effort by Schreier, and it's able to keep it out with 3 minutes left. You can hear the crowd in anticipation, but Amherst coming up big on the transition defense, something they weren't able to do on that most recent goal by Macarini.
Absolutely. I think you said it for me, but what I was going to say was with the fraction of the attempts allowed in these games, with how well East Long Meadow's been playing, it almost sounds like we have full capacity going on with how excited these fans are getting for the East Long Meadow being up 2-0.
Rolled back for LaRock. Pass gets all the way through. Macarini's got it on her stick. A shot kicked away. She didn't get much on it, and Schreier was able to clear it out. LaRock. And it's called back. So putting it in play here, Sweeting. Sweeting gets it right back, but the whistle blows, and now they will give it to the other 26, Isabella Rock. Less than 2 minutes to go in the quarter. A 2-0 lead for the Spartans. Pass gets past Taylor Weiss. Whacked forward, but nobody there waiting for it. It's the East Long Meadow defense. Sent out by Beaumier. Pass chopped through. And the whistle blows once more. Minute 15 to go in the quarter. Ball wasn't put in, so they're going to bring it all the way back. Pass is knocked down and goes out of play, and it'll stay with Amherst. Sent forward, Macarini anticipates it, but it hops past her stick. That'll give Amherst another opportunity. 40 seconds left. Boy, would that be big if they can cut the lead in half going into the fourth. Schilling nudges it too far forward on that self pass and goes over the end line, and this will take off a good amount of the remaining time in the quarter.
East Longmeadow might just look to end this quarter with this 2-0 lead that they extended. I wouldn't be surprised.
10 seconds now, still not put in play just yet. It's finally bunted forward. Amherst was waiting for it. 2 seconds and one, a late whack at it. But that will be it. The end of 3 quarters. Anna Macarini's second goal of the game extends the East Longmeadow lead to 2-0. Gage, it's clear that her return meant a whole lot for the Spartans team as they were able to pad that lead. But this game is still far from over. Amherst is certainly not given up like they seemingly have based on the first 3 games with the big blowout losses they've suffered. So this is a team that knows that they're still in the game. What do they have to do better to close the gap?
Well, the goal that was scored by Anna Macarini was a mistake by Amherst in every way, shape, or form. Bad pass, bad communication. It led to a interception right in front of the net, which led to the easy goal for Anna Macarini. So with that being said, they need to get more communication on the field, and on top of it, they need to be able to somehow, some way, be able to get through this East Longmeadow defense that has been able to stop them almost every time at about the 20-25 yard line.
Another minute before the start of this fourth quarter. Spartans 15 minutes away from win number 1 on the season. Certainly have been competitive in a lot of these games, so they've been building towards that first victory. And remember, last year, Gage, they didn't have a single victory, so this would be a huge win for East Longmeadow.
Absolutely, this would be a huge win, and then when they go to play Amherst away, if they end up doing so, it's going to be another opportunity for East Longmeadow to not only get one more win than what they had last season, but also double that and get 2 wins and completely sweep this opponent.
That game is on the schedule, I believe, in a couple of weeks from now, towards the end of the Spartans' 2020 season. It's been 5 different teams they play, once at home and once on the road. This one's a little unique because usually it's back-to-back games, but it's going to be back-to-back home games, actually, for the Spartans against 2 different teams, one here against Amherst and the one on Thursday against their bitter rival, Longmeadow Lancers. This will be some momentum they can take into that game if they can hang on for the final 15 minutes as fourth quarter is underway. Ball nudged forward, and over there to make the play is Macarini. Macarini pushing forward, but stick knocks that one away. Crossfield pass. Settled and thrown forward by Cage. Didn't get much on it. Cage gets it right back. Monica Cage has Mahoney with her. Pass ahead for Mahoney, but it's going to be wide of the far side post. Nathan smartly watches that one go past.
One key thing that helped East Longmeadow not be able to let up a goal was Coach Reed being able to yell to Marissa that there was someone behind her, which if Marissa never noticed or Coach Reed never yelled it, that could have been a nice cross pass and possibly a goal.
That ball goes through everybody and forces Wilkinson to take evasive action. Her pass forward finds Schilling. Schilling ahead for Theander, but it's whacked out by Sterling. Nudged free, a great defensive play by Taft. But coming back with it are the Hurricanes. Taft ends up bumping Konechny. $13:20 left in this one. Maria Konechny. The sophomore fires that one, doesn't get through, and Macarini comes up with it. Macarini ends up self-passing that one. She's got Taft with her to help. Macarini on the forehand pass led forward for Weiss, but it's broken up. Weiss fighting back hard, but she ends up playing the body a little bit too much. Sterling retrieves the pass. Turns upfield with it. Weiss on the far side. Ahead for Macarini, but Wilkinson's able to head her off. Wilkinson takes advantage of the open space fans on that pass attempt, but drags it back smartly. Is able to loft it to the far side. Chilling. Viander finds Cage. Monica Cage looks to center it, but nobody home. And it is cleared all the way out. It's a foot race, and stumbling was Taft. Now it's Schilling for Amherst. Dragged out a good play by Mahoney. Mahoney trying to cut towards the goal. Working one-on-one on Beaumier. But Marissa Beaumier with a nice defensive play, and it's whacked all the way out. Waiting for it is Talia Weiss. It's a 3-on-1 here with Weiss looking upfield. That pass is going to be knocked down, and Wilkinson in the right place to make that play. A good hustle defensive play by Konechny to get back and help out her defensive partner. And we got a foul called against the Spartans. That one on Nevins. Lily Sterling. 11 minutes remaining. Still 2-0 lead for the Spartans. Both goals in this one scored by Anna Macarini, one in the second and one in the third. Sterling cranks one towards goal, and it's going to miss wide. Schreier saw that one the whole way, and just another ferocious slap shot there from the point by Sterling. Grace Wilkinson will put it in for the Hurricanes. Substitution made is brought in on the defensive end is LaRock. Rock immediately making an impact, sending it forward. Wilkinson comes away with the ball and lofts it just over the stick of LaRock. Moni trying to dig that one out. But LaRock comes free with it and lifts it forward for Dowd. Caitlin Dowd can't get past Wilkinson. Wilkinson drags it back towards the center of the field. Konechny back to Wilkinson. Wilkinson working far side for Schilling. Schilling ahead. Waiting for it is Alvarado Mendoza. But it's picked off. Sterling overruns it briefly, but is able to gather it back in. Forward, and that finds Caitlin Dowd. Dowd looking upfield. Stick handling through, weaving. Centering pass, a beautiful one. Fighting through all alone, and it's a goal. A beautiful pass there from Caitlin Dowd, and eventually finds the back of the net. That goal is going to be credited for Olivia Robb. Great ball movement from the Spartans, and it is now 3-0 East Longmeadow.
Absolutely. I think they got a little risky with the pass right into the middle of the entire pile of defensemen for Amherst, but nice stick handles to go around the goalie, and 3-0 lead for East Long Meadow, and they'll look to just take this, and hopefully their mind is to extend it, but right now, unless Amherst finds a way to come back from 3-0, this looks like East Long Meadow has it all in their pocket.
Meanwhile, on the sidelines, it looks like Taft is getting worked on by the training staff. So it's been a physical game for East Long Meadow, but it's paying off on the scoreboard right now. 3-0, they lead. Eight and a half to go. And we got a substitution here. Is coming off is Beaumier. She will be replaced by Weiss. Amherst looking to avoid their 5th loss in the season, although things are looking pretty bleak right now. But at this point, they're trying to make it so that they don't go 4 straight games without tallying a goal.
It is believed that we believe Marissa got a penalty because right now it's a 5-on-6. So
a 2-minute penalty will give the Hurricanes an opportunity, and I don't think Beaumier can really believe it. So shorthanded are the Spartans for, say, about the next minute 40. So we'll see if Amherst can't take advantage of this opportunity, but quickly, Rob with the strong stick, and Spartans looking for a shorthanded chance. Rob working a no by herself. Rob all the way to the net. It's knocked away. Kept in, though, loose in front. Trying to drive it on net was Dowd. She can't. Kept alive, though. Rob with a shot on net. Kick save made. Rebound is loose. Back out to Dowd. Her shot doesn't get through. It's dragged out. Back to the point. Rob. Too many maroon shirts. She couldn't get anything through. 6.5 to play. Now working all by herself is Gabby Mahoney. Mahoney is fouled by LaRock. Whistle's blown several times.
And Marissa's back in.
It'll stay with the Hurricanes. It's going to be brought all the way back to the 40. And finally put in play. But a good stick there from Weiss. Weiss chips it through. Good second effort. Gets it all the way back in on the Amherst defense. And it's fought through by Olivia Robb. Robb trying to get a breakaway. Robb boxed out of the play smartly. Konechny comes back to try to make a play, but ends up fouling Weiss. Beaumier's back on the field, so the Spartans are, in fact, back out at full strength. She rips one on nets, knocked down, good positioning, and taken out by Monica Cage. Cage with 5 minutes remaining. Fires that one down the far side of the field. Back to play it is LaRock. Weiss. Surrounded by maroon shirts. It's turned over to Macarini. Macarini fans and catches Konechny up high on the shoulder. Looks like she's okay. Wilkinson will put it in play. That'll send Konechny to the bench. Couple of substitutions made. That's Jenna Schilling checking back in. She started this game for Amherst. And quickly, that's turned over. No, it's looked like it glanced off Ron Karati's foot before she made a play on it. 3:55 remaining. Still 3-0 Spartans. Looking to read is Macarini. She couldn't quite get there in time. That lob pass gets through and it goes off of a foot. So it'll go back to Amherst. Looking to work quickly upfield. Weiss, good hand-eye coordination to loft that one to open space, but it's quickly picked up by Cage. Monica Cage moving on in. Centering pass goes just wide. Right there was Mahoney with a chance to put home the Hurricanes' first goal of the game, but instead it will stay 3-0. Lofted ahead. Wilkinson out to play it. Drops back. Nevins will clear it out. Gets past midfield before going out of bounds. Clock continues to run. Schilling's pass gets through. Cage moves back to get it. She gets some help from Schilling. Schilling down low. It just goes right over the stick of Cage. That was a great chance, but again, just unable to take advantage of it are the Hurricanes. It'll be Spartans possession, 2:07 left. Beaumier whacks it forward, but didn't get a whole lot on it. Weiss wasting no time moving upfield. Weiss's pass is knocked down. Second effort gets through to Wilkinson. Minute 45 and the whistle blows. Sterling looking to check back in late in this one. Here she comes. She replaces LaRock. Minute 20 remaining. Spartans are cruising to their first victory of the season in well over a year. Weiss. Her pass is stepped in front of. There is Sterling. Sterling, good possession of the ball, but it's turned over. Less than a minute to go. Now 47 seconds left on the clock. He'll stay with East Long Meadow. Ahead for Weiss. Weiss stepping on in. Weiss's shot in front. Macarini goes off of her, but it looked like the whistle had blown before. Regardless, it was going to be wide, so Amherst has it. They hustle to put it back in play with 25 seconds left. Wilkinson waits, and ahead finds Gabby Mahoney. Mahoney fighting through. 10 seconds left. It's 2-on-1. Mahoney has someone wide open, can't get the pass through. Whistle blows. 3 seconds left. And that will do it. The East Long Meadow Spartans pick up their first victory of the season. They knock off the Amherst Hurricanes by a final of 3-0 behind a 2-goal performance from Anna Macarini. Gage, a statement victory for the Spartans, finally getting in the win column this season. How much of this is a momentum booster going into Thursday's matchup against Long Meadow?
Well, I think this is going to be a huge momentum booster. What helped to get this win was that they were able to tie their previous game, which allowed them to sit there and say, okay, we have the opportunity. Now we can try and steal it from a team that struggled, but struggled against very good opponents. Now with them getting the statement win and also a shutout, this will now this will now help them boost their morale, but hopefully not too much to the point where they can say, all right, we know what it's like to win. We know what we need to do. Now we need to continue that and push into the next game with that momentum.
So for all of us here at LCAT, for our producer, Jamie Rook, final score from East Long Meadow, the Spartans 3, the Amherst Hurricanes nothing. Thank you for tuning in, and we will be back on the air on Thursday as East Long Meadow will take on the Lancers of Long Meadow right here at East Long Meadow High School. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Have a good rest of your night.